What's up, everyone? Champ is back again for the UFC preview video. This time for UFC Fight Night Winnipeg. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. I know a lot of people are pretty down on this card, but I actually kind of dig it. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of it has to do with me loving it betting wise. I love this card betting wise. So, I mean, we're going to get into it. I think we're going to make some good money today because I have some pretty strong takes that I really like on this card, and I'm going to be running with. So we'll begin into it first. But first, as always, we go over what happened last card and how we ended up doing. And it worked well. So UFC 327. Oops. I mean, I had a parlay with Arujo, with Gamrot, but besides the point, UFC 327 ended up profitable, and I stuck my claim on one guy. My one guy came through, but we'll go through all of these one at a time. First fight, I think it was Markel Medeiros versus Chris Padilla. Extremely weird fight. I think the judges, I don't even mind them having it how they did with the draw or whatever. I think that was fine, to be honest. The point deduction, like, what are you doing? Anyways, but besides the point, like, I wouldn't have been mad if Padilla won. It's like rounds 1 and 2. But I also don't think rounds 2 and 3 Medeiros is like that insane. I thought he did land the better shots, so I don't know. I don't mind. I'll take the draw. I'll take it as me being lucky. I'm not gonna mind that. Next fight up the card: Lupita Godinez versus Tatiana Suarez. Oh, Lupi, you had her, and then she gets wrestled on the ground and she can't really do much. Props to Suarez. She hasn't looked this good in a while, like since before her title fight with Zhang Wei Li. What can I say? Props to her. She looked good. She did what she needed to do. Got to get the job done, and I mean, just wrestled Lupi. Lupi's not able to get away from the takedowns. Like I said, I thought Suarez was washed physically, not washed physically enough to stop Lupi, who's albeit small, but I thought the small like frame she has would be a good factor to help her win, but it wasn't. I was very wrong on that. So honestly, fair play, Suarez. I didn't make that a big bet anyway, so I'm not overly like angry about that. Next fight up the card, I had a bet on Mateus Gamrot, Esteban Ribovics. I should have put more on this. I mean, I had a parlay, so it was more, but at the same time, man, why didn't I put more? Gamrot, man, I love this guy. So good. Got the takedowns easy. Ribovics not able to get up because Gamrot is just too good at that facet of MMA. He gets the sub. He gets Ribovics out of there. Like, props to him. I heard him talk in an interview about like him jiu-jitsu leveling up or whatever. I was like, okay, maybe. And he gets a sub. Like I did say that like being a possibility, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if I did say that. Maybe I'm just speaking out my ass. I don't know. But I did really like Gamrot in this fight, and yeah, he came freaking through. He's the man. Shout out to Gamrot. And yeah, the next fight up the card, my biggest bet of the card, the one I went in. I lived and died by Aaron Pico on this card. I by far my most confident, 6 units on it, and he came the frick through. Man, I love Aaron Pico. He is so damn good. The boxing's in this way. I loved him being more tentative, picking his shots, mixing in the wrestling. Like, it was such a beautiful display of MMA. Pico's the real freaking deal. He's got skills to pay the freaking bills. Masterclass. I cannot complain, man. Made me very proud. I chose the right spot to really go in on this card. So shout out to freaking Aaron Pico. He's the freaking man. Made me profitable for the night. And yeah, the last bet on the card, I had Nate the Train Landwehr over Cub Swanson, and I said in the breakdown, if Cub Swanson puts him out early, it is what it is. And if Nate the Train able to survive the early attack and push Cub Swanson later, that's his win condition. But he got put out early. Props to Cub Swanson. I'm not mad at losing this because I mean, it means Cub Swanson won and got a good retirement. So it is what it is. Nate the Train's probably done. Sad to say, but yeah, it's that fight is like it's pretty inexcusable. But yeah, now let's get into the picks on the card, which weren't good. And I want to say, like, they weren't good, but like that's the interesting thing. I went 5 of 12. The interesting thing about that, like, compared to like last week, Where last week I did have a loss, and I got like 10 out of like 12 or something, or 13, something like that. Right. Well, this card I had 5 out of, what was it, 12? 5 of 12, and I'm profitable. It's all about picking spots at the end of the day for betting, right? Pick your spots right. All that matters. Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. I don't know why I didn't put in like a small bet on Radke's submission decision, because I thought that's what I thought going in. Prado landing like a really good shot to really start the fight legitimately screwed him, because it activated Charles Radke's fight IQ. He's like, oh, I should just wrestle this guy, and wrestled he did. Made it look easy. Prado is just whatever, man. He's nothing. He's so, I don't know what to say. Like, just, how do I say it? Like, he has terrible fight IQ. I've been saying, like, he's the fight IQ of a peanut. It's just not doing too much. I mean, I guess he looked a little better last time, because his last fight was one of the most egregious things I've ever watched against Nikolai Veretennikov. He looked better here, but yeah, he's too raw at the moment, at the very least. So he needs to go back to the regional scene and get better. Keep being an ATT. Do your thing. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. I went with Gastelum. Thank God I didn't trust him. I didn't take the fall like a lot of other people did. Man, I wish you could have tracked this on Bet Tips. I did have Luque submission only, like -130. Like, when I saw that line, I was like, what the hell? What is this line? Gastelum's not subbing no one. Yeah, I mean, Luque finds a shot. I mean, and to be fair, Gastelum was looking incredible early. He's really piecing up Luque. And then Luque finds a big shot that puts Gastelum down, gets the choke. Beautifully done. Shout out to Luque getting a win at middleweight. I don't think he's probably going to do that great this weight class, sadly, but I'm very happy to see Luque get a win here, honestly. Very, very happy. Talked about this one. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Oh, Randy Brown, you hurt me. I mean, he just didn't do enough. I did have like a bet on Randy Brown more 6 strikes, and that didn't work out because he fell down and landed a bunch of punches and ground and pound. It is what it is. And then he proceeded to get tired. Shout out to Randy Brown for surviving that choke, though. That was pretty freaking insane. But yeah, Kevin Holland did enough. But I honestly, I'll be honest, I think both these guys looked really bad this fight. I honestly do believe both looked really bad. And I'm going to be looking to fade Kevin Holland probably more from here, because I thought he looked really bad. And he's doing things that's like, why are you doing that? I don't understand what you're doing. I mean, I guess it's to entertain the fans, which I can respect in a way, but as a bettor, it's like, I don't really know why you're doing this sort of thing. He looks regressed to me, to be honest with you. So I'm probably gonna be looking to fade Kevin Holland more and more. But I didn't end up putting a money on Randy Brown other than the 6 strikes bet. So I mean, what if it mattered anyway? Talked about this one. Reyes versus Walker. I mean, these top 4 fights, I wanted nothing to do with, and I'm very happy I wanted nothing to do with them. Walker versus Reyes. I straight up said I wouldn't be shocked if this goes a distance. I said that, like, this fight can go so many different ways, and that it did. It was kind of just a staring contest, to be honest. I thought Walker won round 1 clearly. Then rounds 2 and 3 were toss-ups, and I gave them the Reyes because I thought he landed the better shots, but it was pretty pitter-patter for the most part. Kind of throwaway fight. I wish I bet the over 1 round at least, but it is what it is. I can live. I feel like I'd look really stupid if I did, and someone just dies. So yeah. Blades Hockett, what a fight. Insane fight. I thought Hockett had him out of there, and then Blades coming back on in round 1. And then round 2 and 3, like, the pace Hockett put is insane. It's very Dricus du Plessis adjacent in the sense that he goes ahead, pushes an insane pace early. He gets himself tired as well as his opponent. And Hockett is better at that in that gas state than his opponent is, and is winning the fight because he is better in that gas state than Blades is. That's how Dricus du Plessis is. And like, that's how he's been winning his fights. Josh Hockett literally just did the same thing. And man, like, it was very, very impressive to push that pace at heavyweight. He's a top 5 guy now because of this. huge credit to Josh Hogan, man. He is pretty damn good. And he's going to be a lot of guys in this division. I don't think he's going to become a world champion. I think guys like Volkov, I'll say Kuniev. I think Kuniev give him problems. Aspinall gone. Those guys are like definitely beat him. He beats like Waldo. He'll beat Waldo. I promise you. And he'll beat a lot of guys in this division. I'm talking about like the ranked guys. I mean, maybe there's other guys that I think coming up can do things. I'm a big Mario Pinto guy, but maybe it's too soon for that right now. So, but they're not going to be facing each other for years if they do. So, forget me saying Mario Pinto because I'm a fanboy of that guy. I shouldn't. He's not even the same conversation. He's going to take a while from his career. But seriously though, credit to Josh Hogan. He's very good. And I mean, I was right about this guy like being like he's going to do good things in heavyweight. Back in my breakdown of the Max Jimenez fight, where it's like this dude's skill set is going to get him a lot of wins at heavyweight, and sure enough, it is. But that fight was so crazy that I'm happy I didn't put any money on it because I'd be stressing out about it. Azam versus Kano versus Paulo Costa. I'm happy I didn't put money on this one either. I mean, I wasn't confident at all in Azamat to begin with. I couldn't believe what I was watching with Costa doing well in round one, and then Azamat pacing him in round two made no sense, and then Costa's back to pacing him in round three, which does make sense. I don't even know what to say. Like, Azamat, he landed some really good shots in Costa, but Costa's durable as hell, man. He's durable as hell. Those kicks at light heavyweight, man, he feels more dangerous at light heavyweight, which doesn't feel like it makes sense. But I feel like Costa just has a lot more to his game at light heavyweight because I feel like he hits a lot harder. And he still moves so well as he did. He's a pretty damn good fighter at light heavyweight. Like I'm kind of on the Costa train at this point. So yeah, shout out to Paulo Costa. He looked amazing. And the Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg, I'm not shocked at all. I went with Yuri, but I was like, man, Carlos is nasty. I'm not betting against Carlos. Both these guys are my guys. And I said in my breakdown, both these guys beat Poatan today. I still believe that. And I definitely believe Carlos Ulberg beats Poatan. I've been saying that. I believe in my UFC 303 breakdown before the Ankalaev fight. I was like, I mean, the first one. So, I mean, I guess it's not necessarily like the most relevant, but you'll understand what I mean. Like, I said in that breakdown, Carlos Ulberg, after struggling with Jan Blachowicz, is going to fight Poatan after defending takedown, which he did in the second fight, not the first. I mean, he did in the first fight too. He didn't get any takedowns. But besides the point, he'll beat a Poatan who defends all the takedowns and looks good or whatever. He's going to be a big favorite, and then Ulberg's going to sleep Poatan. I still think he's not going to be a big favorite anymore because Ulberg's kind of proved himself. He is so damn good, man. But yeah, I'll have pretty heavy money on Ulberg if he fights Poatan, which I think he will because I don't think Poatan's going to be winning that Gone fight. Just heads up. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Burns versus Malott. Let's get into it. Very excited for this card. Jamie Siraj versus John Yanis. I'll go with Siraj by sub. I didn't look into this fight pretty much at all, other than like wiki capping. So don't take my opinion on this fight very seriously. I don't. This guy got KO'd by Diego Brandao not that long ago. I think he was like put out cold with like a spinning. It was a spinning wheel kick or something like that. Yeah, like insane. John Yanis can hit hard. There's no shame losing the Bashiao he did in like I think it was super short notice, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. There's no shame in that. But I think if Siraj gets a takedown, his ground game is pretty bad. So, I mean, I just think he'll find a way to get a takedown somehow and win. But I just want nothing to do with this fight. This is super short notice for both, I'm pretty sure. So, why even trust this? I'll just take the Canadian to win, I guess, in Canada. John Castaneda versus Mark Vologden. I got a good amount to say on this one. Give me Sexy Mexi to win this fight. I love him a lot here. He's one of my big bets on the card. I have multiple, I mean, not big bets. One of my bets on the card. I couldn't believe this guy's an underdog. And he still is technically, but money's come in on him. And I think rightfully so. He's the better fighter. Mark Vologden is genuinely bad. I don't think this guy's good. He put on a crazy war against Martinetti. Can't speak right now. Martinetti. who I think is awful too. I'm going to be betting on Davy Grant to beat him, by the way. It's just, he's so hittable. Yeah, in the clinch, he's just so, boom, boom, boom. And like he has no power. And the reason why he has no power is kind of purely because of technique. Because how he throws his punches, it's like arm punches kind of thing. So like, it's just, I'm not worried about that aspect. For once, John Castaneda has a pretty like significant size advantage. This guy's tiny. Castaneda can mix in the wrestling in this fight. I think he could be successful with it. I don't think Vologden is really going to be able to get UFC wins unless they bring in some like really bad guy. Castaneda is a legit guy in this division. Yes, I know Castaneda got dropped by Gutierrez, but it's a different type of fight. It's a different type of fight than that Vologden's going to bring in, which I feel like Castaneda thrives in. I love Sexy Mexi here. I have him bet, and he's one of my favorite bets on the card. He's better than this guy. Mark Vologden is not good. I'm sorry. I like the guy. I don't have a problem with the guy. It's just I don't think he's good. And betting wise, I couldn't believe this guy's an underdog. I think even these odds right now are nice on Castaneda. Give me Castaneda to win this fight. I love me some Sexy Mexi. Have him bet. Mitch Raposo versus Alan Nascimento. I don't know what to make of this fight. You know what? I'm going to go Mitch Raposo, but I might change my mind, and if I do, I'm going to put it in the comments. But let me explain my thinking. Man, Alan Nascimento looked pretty bad against Cody Durden last time out. Sure, he got it done. He found like an elbow that really hurt Durden, and he was able to get the submission from it. Sure. But he was getting tuned up on the feet bad by Durden on short notice. And short notice, Durden gassed out. No shock, and that's how Nascimento was able to get it. But Mitch Raposo does have good cardio. I'm not worried about that aspect. I mean, I am worried about how big Nascimento is. But Mitch Raposo is a former 135er, so he's fought big guys before. I think the movement in boxing can give Nascimento big trouble on the feet. I was immensely impressed by the Azat Maxim fight because he looked incredible there. I had a big bet on Maxim there, and Mitch Raposo made me look stupid. And it hurts me because I'm a big Mitch Raposo guy. Like I've always liked him, to be honest with you. But like I went against him there, and I paid heavily. I paid pretty heavily on that fight. That sucked. That split was crazy. This was clear Sue, by the way, and this split was crazy too. It was clear Andre Lima. I mean, but besides that, like he looked really good in this fight, and I think Azat Maxim's wrestling is a lot better than Nascimento's. He was more like a jiu-jitsu guy. Like if he gets on the ground, he's nasty on the ground. There's no denying that. But I mean, like he is super hittable on the feet, and I think just Mitch Raposo's movement is going to make this guy's life a nightmare. I am worried that he's going to miss weight big time, and like he's going to be so big that it gives Mitch Raposo problems. So, like I probably need to take this fight a little more because I do rate Nascimento. I do think Nascimento's a pretty good fight, and I wouldn't be shocked if he does get this fight done, especially if he can't get this fight to the ground. I mean, he's live to sub a lot of dudes in this division down there. But I think Mitch Raposo's wrestling is good enough to keep this on the feet, do the good boxing that he does, and win like that. So yeah, I'm going to take Mitch Raposo. Stylistically, I kind of feel like it's a better fight than Azat, who I think had a better propensity to get this fight to the ground than Nascimento does. So yeah, I'm going to go Mitch Raposo. I'm not crazy about putting a bet on this fight, but I'm going to be looking out for something like Mitch Raposo decision only, because if it gets to a decision, that means he's surviving the submission attempts or something like that. It could be on the feet the whole time, and he's probably doing his thing, because I think if there's a finish, more likely it's from Nascimento. But yeah, that'd be how I look at it. I'd only play it if it's plus money. If it's not plus money, just no thanks. No thanks. But I probably won't even put too much on it if I do put anything on it. But yeah, Mitch Raposo, and he's the younger guy too. He's a pretty young guy. So yeah, I think he's really coming to his own. So shout out to Mitch Raposo. JJ Aldrich versus Jamie Lynn-Horth. I'm dog. Give me JJ Aldrich by decision. Probably goes to decision, a high clip. Jamie Lynn-Horth is not good. She's not good. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's both these girls honestly are low margin fighters. But I mean, JJ is meat and potatoes, and honestly, I think JJ is probably the second best person here. Okay, third because I'd say Blade is better, but at the same time, I'm gonna mention this: that Blade fight I don't feel like that happened because Blade got injured like almost immediately. it means nothing to me. So I don't really consider that. The only thing that I really credit on Jamie Lynn Hort's resume is the Miranda Maverick fight. On short notice, she did pretty well against Miranda Maverick. Why? Well, she landed some pretty big elbows to the back of the head of Maverick. She still ended up losing, but she looked all right there. But besides that, life and death with Ivana Petrovich, which she probably should have lost. And in her interview, she talked about, and like I mentioned this in my breakdown with the Miranda Maverick fight, and I had I max bet Miranda Maverick there. I loved her in that spot. She doesn't know how fights are scored. Like I believe she was put, if I remember correctly, and if you want to check for sure, I said in that video because it was more relevant then, but I don't think she's probably changed her mind or anything like that. Become more educated on how the fights are scored. Like she was put in an arm bar for so much of a round, and yeah, she survives it, but not much happens in it. And she's like, why didn't I get the round? I survived the arm bar. Like you don't know how the fight is scored. You don't know how fights are scored. It's not relevant here probably because J.J. Alder's probably not going for subs here, but it's something to keep in mind because I question her fight IQ as well. Sure, maybe she's more physical, but against who? Like Haley Cowan looked pretty bad against Alice Pereira, who jumps into single legs, and she could barely even take her down. It's a bad look, and she has a gas tank problems too. Veronica Hardy doing all right against Hardy, but there's such a big size advantage. Demopoulos fight on short notice was a gift. This is just a meme. I'm going with Aldrich because I think the meat and potato style could probably work on Horth. I don't think Horth's going to separate too well, and I think as a value underdog, I'm not necessarily super sure she's going to win. I'm definitely not super sure Horth wins. I'll tell you that for sure. But from an odds perspective, it's dog or pass 1,000,000,000%. I think the meat and potato style can work on Jamie Lynn Horth. I know she just beat Andrea Lee, who's just not good at all, but it's just I think her style can kind of work on Horth. I think it's probably going to be a lot of cage pushing in this fight. And I think it's going to be JJ Aldrich doing her basic 1-2, 1-2 as she always does. And wins like that. I mean, it's not like Horth is not hittable. She is hittable. She's not no savant on the feet by any means. Give me JJ Aldrich to come in here as underdog and get the job done in Canada. And I'll be interested in probably putting some money on her. Not much. It's a value play at the end of the day, purely for me. I'm not that confident she wins, but I'm pretty confident that this will be pretty close. Maybe the plus 3.5 is enticing. Probably not going to be worth betting, though. It's going to be a disgusting number. But yeah, I think JJ Aldrich competes. Daria Zelenziakova versus Melissa Croden. I need to look into this fight more, to be honest. I do. But I'm going to go with Daria. I want to go by finish. I'll tell you what. What I like in this fight, betting-wise probably, is probably fight doesn't go. Because both these girls are kind of violent. It's pretty binary. Where Daria, very good on the feet. Very good on the feet. Croden has a terrible chin. She got hurt by freaking Cavalcanti of all people, which is crazy to say, really bad. But on the flip side, if Croden does get this to the ground, she could be some pretty big trouble to Daria on the ground. But I'll tell you what, Zelenziakova, Daria has gotten better on the ground. I think the Mullins fight showed it. And sure, Mullins didn't do too much to really push the fight to get her on the ground, but I think that's partly because Daria doing a good job adjusting with her footwork. And when Mullins did try to do it, she stuffed the takedowns pretty well. So the under is something I'm definitely taking a look at as under 2.5 plus 200. Hello, that's not too bad. Because I think a lot of girls can probably finish Croden if Cavalcanti's hurting you. And with Daria, I think she absolutely has that ability to do that. And of course, on the ground, Croden is pretty nasty. So I want to go with Daria to get the job done on the feet. But I'm not necessarily the most confident, aside though. I think the under, is value. I'll say it's value. I'm not ultra confident it's going to be under, but if you're going to bet over under, do not parlay that over. Do not do that. I do not suggest that. Take a small shot on the under. That's my opinion. Tanner Boser versus Gokhan Sarikam. I haven't seen anything out of Sarikam that. I mean, I don't. But Boser's so. Oh, man. I'm going to go Boser by decision. It's just. I don't think. Sarikam is just point fighting and stuff like that. Like, I don't rate his style much. I think Boser can legit win this fight from just landing like a shot that looks bigger and win like that. Like, honestly, I mean, maybe the over is something like interesting to look at in this fight. 2.5 plus 105. That's actually not too bad. But like, oh man, like I'm not impressed at all by either of these guys. It's just I want nothing to do with this. Just pass. I don't care. I honestly don't care. It's a heavyweight slot fest, and I think this fight's gonna be terrible. I don't even know, man. Just Boser by hitting a little harder, but again, what do I know about this fight? I could care less, if I'm being honest with you. Robert Valentin versus Julian LeBlanc. This is a fight I care about. Give me Swiss Yuri himself, Robert Valentin. And I think he gets the job done by KO as the fight goes on. Sub. This LeBlanc guy, I don't think is UFC level. I don't. I think Valentin is. I think he does have the ability, even though he's been losing in the UFC and stuff like that. But it's just not. I mean, this Ateba one is just nasty matchmaking. The Finney fight, Loki could have won. And against Ryan Loder, he got just completely destroyed on the mat. But this LeBlanc guy is like, I don't think he's good. I mean, if you look at this last fight, oh my goodness, it's bad. It's bad. And like I believe, if I remember correctly, this guy is like on short notice. Let me get this right. Let me get this right. I want to be for sure about this because like I was very unimpressed by what I watched. Yeah, exactly. His most recent fight it's bad. It's bad. Like the guy he's fighting is super short notice, ultra old, and he takes him super long. And this guy's so slow. This guy Julian is so slow. Like I think Valentin has a striking advantage. I think on the mat he has an advantage. He doesn't have good takedown defense, Valentin, but I don't think LeBlanc does either, to be honest, if Rob Zilla goes to that avenue. And I think if LeBlanc does get a takedown Valentin, I think Valentin can sweep him and get on top and maybe even get a submission of some kind. I like Valentin here. I have a bet on him. I got him at dog odds. I think even now, minus 120 is kind of a gift because this guy is not good, man. I don't see it. The Darian Weeks fight, he's losing the whole time, then hits a knee, the blood's going everywhere, and the fight ends. And like Weeks was barely even doing anything. I can't believe it. Yeah, give me Valentin. He's better than this guy. This guy's not good. He's not good. I'm sorry. Give me Swiss Yuri. I think he gets the job done. I think he's got the advantages pretty much everywhere. And I think if there's a finish, it's coming from Swiss Yuri. There's Bazooka versus Marcio Barboza. When Barboza is on, oh my God, this guy is nasty. I have no idea. No, I do know why. I do know why Bazooka's been out. It's because he hit a fan. I'm pretty sure that's why he's been out for so long. Besides that, though, like this Barboza guy does hit different. He does gas though, so it's a little scary to just trust like that. And like, what's the under 1.5? Minus 155. I mean, if he's winning this fight and he's covering his money line, it has to be the under 1.5. It's a little hard to trust though, and I'm not too interested in betting this fight unless like maybe like there's some interesting props or some kind. But I mean, Bazooka might be live if this gets later because this guy, he does have gas problems. We've seen it before. But I do think Barboza is going to catch Bazooka because he is very hittable, and he's not super great at all by any means. And he's been getting caught a bunch in his fights. So yeah, I don't rate Bazooka much at all, and I think Barboza gets a win in front of the Canadian crowd with the big KO. Thiago Moises versus Gage Young. Pretty confident in this one. Give me Gage Young to get the win over Thiago Moises. Now, we need to go over something real quick. Let's go over Thiago Moises' resume. And I want to ask you, I know we're wicket capping right now. What in here is impressive? Let's go over these. KO'd by Jared Gordon. What? Gordon's good, but what? You got KO'd by Jared Gordon? Crazy. Trey Ogden, you get a win. After Trey Ogden's kind of like gets injured or whatever, and like he's doing stupid stuff, and you're not even doing what you need to do to win the fight as well. And it was a struggle to win that fight against a guy who doesn't have great takedown defense and Trey Ogden. Terrible look. Ludovic Klein gets destroyed by Ludovic Klein. Like the best part of the best parts of his resume is that he's losing to good guys, and he's like, that's about it. Beats Mitch Ramirez by leg kicks. Mitch Ramirez is awful. Nothing to take away from that. BSD destroys Thiago Moises, but BSD is super edible, and like, yeah, it's sort of competitive, but BSD just completely drowns him. Mokwazao Costa on 4 days notice at 155. Give me a freaking break. This is carrying his resume so hard, and it's not even that relevant in my opinion. Giagos, who's bad, like he's not a great fighter by any means. Whatever. Joel Alvarez, he gets destroyed by Joel. Islam Makhachev, I mean, that's one of the best fighters in the sport, no shame, but it's like, oh, he did all right against Islam. Like, whatever. Alexander Hernandez, like, mentally at the time, Alexander Hernandez had trouble with stuff, so like, what am I gonna take for that? Like, it's just Hernandez not the guy he is now. Whatever. King Green, I don't even think he won this fight. I'm gonna stop there, but it's just, this resume is not good at all, if you ask me. Let's get back to the picks. So I like Gage Young here because I think this is a similar style fight to Killen Salkild was, where Moises is, I mean, it's not going to be anywhere near the same pace that Salkild pushes, because Thiago Moises never pushed a fight like that ever in his life. Never. So I think Gage Young can absolutely handle that. And I mean, there's no shame to losing to Evan Elder on short notice. Evan Elder's a really good fighter, and he competed pretty all right there. And he did what he needed to do against Mahashate. He's not great, Mahashate. I like him, but he's not super great. I think Gage Young has what he needs to do, what he needs to beat Thiago Moises at this point, who I think is just completely washed, to be honest with you, with how he's fighting. If you're getting KO'd by Jared Gordon, it's so bad. Gage Young absolutely can do it too. I rate him, especially at 25 years of age, getting better. I don't think Thiago Moises is getting better at this point. I'm going with the young gun to make a statement here. Give me Gage Young to get the job done. Jasmine Joseph-Vicious versus Karine Silva. And now I'll say this is my last like really strong take. I do have another strong take coming up, but my really strong takes with Gage Young, Castaneda, and Valentine. And that's Jasmine Joseph-Vicious. I think she's finishing Karine Silva this weekend. I wish it was a main event because I would be putting a lot more money on Jasmine to finish, because like if there's just 5 rounds, Karine would be so screwed because her cardio is so bad, even in 3 rounders. Here's the only thing to worry about. Jasmine just getting memed early. That's the only thing we have to worry about with Jasmine here. This is a kind matchup. The UFC love Jasmine. They're being super nice to her. Can Karine bonk Jasmine? Sure. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Manon Fiorot was a terrible matchup for Jasmine. A nightmare stylistically for her. I had a massive bet on Manon Fiorot there. If you remember correctly, I absolutely did. And I didn't think KO would be happening, but she had like all the upside on the feet, and like Jasmine is hittable, which is a big worry. Manon is probably the most physical, is the most physical girl in this division. But Jasmine is pretty physical, and she's more physical than Karine Silva. I'll tell you that. And you can trust Jasmine's cardio here. And what I'm also going to mention about this, Karine, like, sure, she could bonk Jasmine, but I think Jasmine's going to bring in the wrestling pretty quickly. And when she brings in the wrestling, I think Karine's going to welcome it, because I think she's going to be wanting to try to do jiu-jitsu or whatever, because she's a jiu-jitsu girl. And I think that's a mistake, to be honest with you, because I think if that happens, Jasmine's going to make Kareen's life hell. And if this gets out of like 5 minutes or like at least midway through round 2, dude, it's going bad for Kareen Silva. I promise you, because Jasmine's pace is incredible. She has good wrestling. She has good submission defense. She's going to fight for your freaking money. And I think she's going to, and it's such a high pace. I'm pretty confident Kareen Silva's not going to be able to handle it. I might be interested in like a -3.5 or something like that on Jasmine, because I do think she can finish this fight. I do think she can. I'm also interested in fight doesn't go in rounds 2, 3. Jasmine, absolutely interested in like those kind of props. And I'm going to be looking at those props this weekend, see what to play with those. Yeah, I think Jasmine's going to cook Kareen terribly here. Kareen, I don't think has really much here for Jasmine at all. So, yeah, I think this is a Jasmine comeback win in Canada in front of the home crowd. She always performs for the Canada crowd, except for the Manon Fiorot fight. But she got caught. If she gets caught here, it is what it is. But I think Jasmine comes back on top. Yeah, and she's a very physical girl. Kareen's physical, but I think Jasmine is super physical. And it's going to make Kareen Silva's life hard. Yeah, give me Jasmine to get the job done. Mandel Nalo versus Jai Herbert. This guy's, I don't know why they say Mango. People know this guy's freaking rat garbage. Anyways, give me rat garbage. I think he can KO Jai, but I'm honestly not interested in betting this fight. I think because Jai is very underrated. He's going to be given a kickboxing fight, and like Jai is good at those. His chin does suck, and I think Nalo can absolutely touch it. And because of that, it's like, it's a little scary. And I am curious, like, what's the under in this fight? Because maybe that's something I might be interested-ish in, but it could be also a staring contest at the same time. So yeah, under minus money, no thanks. But Nalo's nasty, man. I think if he catches him with some of the shots he throws, like that front kick, oh my god, I think Jai absolutely can go out. The straight hand is super nice, but Jai is an educated striker. He's not no like bum or whatever. I thought he won against Taco Padilla. I'll say that. Super close fight, nothing happened, and it could be like that here. I like TriStar for Nalo. I think Rat Garbage is gonna be able to get the job done in front of the home crowd. But again, Jai's crafty. He knows his way around. His chin sucks though, which I think does get cracked here. But if it doesn't, I mean, it's going to be competitive because Jai Herbert's a seriously good kickboxer. So I'm going Rat Garbage to win there, but I'm not ultra confident. I kind of want nothing to do with this. Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. This one is my like. I am pretty like. I'm probably gonna have a play on this fight, and this is gonna be Charles Jourdain. I like Jourdain here a good amount because I think him being a former 145er is gonna give Kyler problems, especially with the pace that Jourdain pushes. I don't think Kyler Phillips is gonna have a great success with the wrestling because of that, and I think the way Charles Jourdain fights is going to force Kyler Phillips to drain that gas tank. And if Kyler Phillips' gas tank is gone, he's gone. Like he's not winning no more of that fight. And Charles Jourdain's going to keep coming. And I mean, credit to Kyler Phillips, he is tough. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Jourdain finish towards the end of this fight. Charles Jourdain is nasty, and I love him on the feet here as the fight goes on. And round 1 could be dicey because Kyler Phillips is a damn good fighter. And like, he's the Matrix for a reason. He's really fast. But yeah, I think just the bigger body hits harder than Kyler Phillips. It's going to be a big problem for Kyler Phillips here. And yeah, it might be a good live bet opportunity, honestly, though, on Jourdain more than anything. So I'm going to be looking at Jourdain some way, maybe to play this week, maybe like a round 3 decision kind of thing. Like those would be like something like that I'd be maybe looking at here. Yeah, I think he puts it on Kyler Phillips as the fight goes on. More and more and more. And then Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. The odds on this fight are disgusting. Do not be betting on Mike Malott money line this weekend, in my opinion. But to be honest, I do think he wins. I'll go around 2 KO, but it could be any time, I guess. Honestly, there probably is value on like the overs and stuff like that. Like over 2.5 plus 115. I mean, as a value play, I don't mind it at all. because I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a little bit of a staring contest. I'm also maybe somewhat interested if I see like good enough odds on fight ends by KO, because it's like it's a fade on Gilbert Burns sub. Mike Malott's not subbing him. It's a fade on Gilbert Burns sub and both guys winning by decision. I don't hate it if it's like an all right number. Probably won't be, so pass for me as well. I just think Mike is. I think Gilbert Burns is kind of done. Sadly, this is a big step down though, to the point where it's like these odds are crazy. But I think Mikey performs well in Canada. He's going to perform well in Canada here and get the job done against Burns, who's kind of hittable. I don't think he's going to be able to get takedowns here, and I think Malott will be able to survive, maybe wrestle out of those exchanges with Gilbert Burns on the ground. It hurts me this because like, the age difference is so huge here. I don't think he can take many shots anymore, sadly. I hate to say it, man. I love Gilbert Burns so much, but I think it's Mike Malott season here. I think Canada gets a W. Yeah, those are the picks. Let's go through each fight, going over more takedowns, more significant strikes on each of the fights. Siraj, more takedowns. I mean, this how he needs to win this fight. John Giannis does not have a ground game, so that is free. More sig strikes. I don't know, man. I guess Siraj, because he can get top position and throw, but pass. Castaneda Vologden. I think Castaneda more sig strikes is a pretty good look because he's going to have the range. I think he's better. He's much better defensively. I think Vologden, because Vologden's just going to be eating every shot. And I think Castaneda can get on top and land some shots from up top too. So Castaneda for that as well for more takedowns. Nascimento, Mitch Raposo. Nascimento, more takedowns. I don't see why Mitch Raposo would ever want to take this fight in the ground. If he does, he's stupid. Don't do that. And I'll go Mitch Raposo, more sig strikes, because I don't rate Nascimento striking much at all, sadly. And he's a tough guy, but he's very hittable. And yeah, Mitch Raposo's good at hitting and getting away. JJ Aldridge, Jamie Leonor, I don't even know. I legitimately don't even know. It's going to be close. That's all I know. Pass. Daria, Croden. Takedowns, Croden, because Daria's not going for any takedowns here. Sig strikes is interesting because Croden is the type to go for ground and pound, and that could absolutely have an effect here. I'll go Daria because I'm picking her for more sig strikes because Croden is hittable on the feet. But it's like, it's kind of pick your poison with that. No thanks. I literally, I don't know, man. I guess Saracom more sig strikes because he's more of a point fighter type of guy. I guess. And more takedowns. I don't know. Just pass. Valentin LeBlanc. Valentin more sig strikes. I think he's just a violent guy in general. I think he's going to find the way to find the shots better. And more takedowns. It could be either guy. I want nothing to do with a more takedowns one. Bazooka, Barboza. Depends how you think the fight plays out. If you think the fight goes long, Bazooka's live to get that 6 strike number. But if the fight just ends really quickly, which I think happens, Barboza more 6 strikes for sure. Moises Gage Young. More 6 strikes, Gage Young for sure. Thiago Moises, not really a high volume guy in the feet at all. More takedowns is interesting because I don't really know if Gage Young is going to take that approach. If he wants to, I think he can absolutely get them. I just don't know if he's going to go for them. And that might be Thiago Moises' only real way of getting a victory here. But at the same time, he doesn't really use the jiu-jitsu too much. And that's like his one good part of his game. It's just unbelievable. You can't trust Thiago Moises, man. Jasmine Kareen. Jasmine more 6 strikes. Jasmine more takedowns. She's going to be pushing that pace on Kareen. Kareen's going to fumble. It's going to be a lot of ground and pound from Jasmine. We will be there. I cannot wait. Jai versus Nalo. More takedowns, Nalo, I guess. No thanks. I want nothing to do with the takedowns. More 6 strikes. Generally, I don't want anything to do with that either. Kyler Phillips, Charles Jourdain. If the fight goes how I think it goes, 6 strikes Jourdain because he's going to be the one really putting it on Kyler as the fight goes on. And more takedowns, I guess, Kyler. I think Jourdain might pull a guillotine and that could count as a takedown or whatever, and Jourdain gets up. So I guess I'll go with that, but not crazy about it. And then this fight, Mike Malott, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns more takedowns. I don't see why Mike Malott would ever take this fight on the ground. That'd be really dumb. Don't do that. More 6 strikes, Mike Malott. Just a much cleaner striker. He's nasty on the feet, Mike Malott. He does have power. I like Mike Malott to have out 6 strike. And honestly, that's probably better than this money line. Why do that? Why bet minus 480 on that? And when you can probably bet 6 strikes for I'm assuming he's going to be less. That's a better bet. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. You can check me out at betmma.tips, champ bets. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I love doing these videos. My favorite spots on the card, as I said, John Castaneda. Which other ones? Robert Valentin, Jasmine Justivicius, and Gage Young. Those 4 I like a lot. And I'm going to be looking at Charles Jourdain to be betting on. JJ Aldrich as like a value play. Maybe some fight ends by KO in the main event, or definitely a 6-strike bet on Mike Malott. I actually think that's actually a pretty good look, to be honest. I mean, the 6-strike bets and more takedown bets I talked about, I really liked, probably. Mitch Raposo, decision only. I think if that's plus money, I'll definitely be interested. Probably not put anything crazy on that, but be interested in that. And yeah, I mean, I think those are the main ones I'm like really looking out for this week. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching Batman Tips Champ Bets. We'll have a great one. And honestly, I love the card next week as well for betting. So these are like 2 back-to-back weeks where I'm coming off of like 3 weeks where it's like, I'm not crazy about this card. Like there's some spots I like. I like Pico. I like Casey O'Neill. But like I'm not super crazy about some of these. This card, I love those 4 spots specifically. I really like some spots next week, and we will get into those. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Have a great one.